It was a windy, chilly day. It would be. It was February. Without waiting for my mum to arrive, the nurse took me into the tiny clinical consultation room. It was cold. I was cold. She sat me on the one and only chair. As I waited for the consultant to come in, I wondered where he would sit. Would he lean or sit on the bed? Or should I, as the patient, sit on the bed? I mean, was I even a patient? I wasn't sick. This could get awkward, I thought. Before I could make any seating changes, he walked in with an unexpected entourage. There was a registrar and 2 nurses, making the already small room feel even more airless. We swiftly got through the pleasantries and on to the main event, biopsy results. I was concerned about the fact your grandma had breast cancer at a young age. I am sorry. It's not good news. You have breast cancer. What just happened? I was partly still stuck on the fact he was concerned about my grandma having breast cancer when she was 30. When I'd first told him, he dismissed that detail pretty swiftly. It was apparently not a strong enough link. One family member isn't enough to increase risk. I couldn't bring this up with him now, though. In fact, I couldn't find any words at all. What could I possibly say? In my head, I was saying what and shit and how, again and again. I felt like my breath had been sucked out of me. I was sobbing. I felt nauseous. I felt faint. I wasn't really there. I was there physically, but somehow I was watching it all happen from outside my body. I felt like a surveillance camera hanging from the corner of the room, capturing a life being shattered. The next thing I knew, Mum was in the room. She could, of course, tell from my distraught face that I had just been told some pretty horrendous news. The doctor repeated what he told me, and Mum burst into tears. I remember her first words like I'm still there. It should be me, not you. In interviews, it's always one of the first questions I get asked. How did it feel to be diagnosed? But I don't really know. I can't describe it well enough. I mean, I could use a lot of expletives. 150 women per day, that's about 1 woman every 10 minutes, are told the same news I was told that day, and how I describe that moment would probably be no different from the way they would. It was simply shit. And more than that, it was baffling. I was baffled that this was the first time the word cancer had come up, and my journey to this very moment made this all the more bewildering too. So let's rewind, shall we? My relationship with my boobs was a pretty normal one. I could never understand the fuss girls made about having small ones or too big ones. I guess I was lucky. I just had fairly normal-sized ones. My boobs and I were, in short, ticking along in life just fine. I never got a bra fitted. Like many puberty topics that Mum never broached with us, the subject never came up. So it was more of a fend-for-yourself situation. So I made the, I thought, excellent decision to upgrade from my white vest to buying my first underwide bra from Next myself. It had a cat on it. But when I was with my first boyfriend, aged 17, I started to notice my boobs more. I noticed that my left one was smaller than my right. I was with a boy who couldn't give a hoot. I could have had cyclops boobs for all he cared. He adored me. But it started to bother me, and so when I noticed a mole growing on my right boob, I thought it was a good opportunity, or rather an excuse, to visit my GP and bring up the boob size situation. This GP would end up being the same GP who a few years later would tell me my lumpy boob was normal, and back then she thought my mole was normal, which it was, and the fact it was growing on a boob that was substantially larger than my other boob was totally normal as well. I would discuss my asymmetrical boob woes with the boyfriend, and momentarily he'd make me feel better about it all, saying that I could do something about it if I really wanted. And I guess he was right. And if it had bothered me that much, I might have. But instead I got on with life. 2 years later, I was forced to notice my boobs again, as they'd left a little orange mark on the inside of my white t-shirt bra. This, ladies and gentlemen, is known as nipple discharge, possibly the worst words in the English dictionary. And yes, it is one of the symptoms of breast cancer. And no, I did not know this at the time. And yes, when I look back now, it was really gross. I was 19 at this point, and my then boyfriend would notice it and sometimes squeeze a bit out. But not once did he suggest I get it checked out. But I guess I can't blame him, as much as I would like to. I too presumed it was normal, that this stuff happened to girls my age. But it doesn't. Girls shouldn't have blood-stained liquid coming out of their nipples. Ever. So I lived with a lopsided...